Hello and welcome to your channeled message. This is going to be a specific message for a group of divine feminines who are going through this time of inspiration. You may notice that recently you have been going through a lock-in phase where you are recommitting to this new version of yourself. I am seeing that this group of divine feminines has become hyper aware of maybe some of your shadow aspect. And you are going about this awareness in a completely different way. You may have noticed that there have been certain breakthroughs that are changing the trajectory of your life. And the thing that I'm hearing is you are unaware just yet how much this time of your life is actually the most pivotal time of your life. Meaning, you may understand that you changing your habits is going to change your life, becoming aware of your old patterns, choosing to consciously move in a different direction. You will receive a better benefit or a different style of life. But what you are up against, what you are pushing up against right now is actually one of the biggest breakthroughs of your life. And what I keep channeling for this collective is that you have had breakthroughs in the past. You have had great surrenders where you no longer could take the ropes or take control of your life, and you had to allow the divine to come in and help you. But there's something about this surrender and this new way of being that is going to be one of the biggest breakthroughs of your life. But before we get too far into this, let me introduce myself. Welcome to the Cosmic Rose Activation. My name is Michaela, and on this channel, I help women turn water into gold, transmuting the seemingly impossible into the possible. My goal is to help you alchemize the situations you may be facing in life through the wisdom of your spirit team so you can be hand-delivered to your highest timeline. Whether you are being challenged with your relationships, manifestations, or career, we talk about it all so you can heal from within to manifest your dream reality. As with any reading, please remember to take what resonates and leave the rest, knowing your intuition will never steer you in the wrong direction. To begin, we have the Five of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. What I am seeing is that you have been up against a position in your life where either your career or your finances have been a little sticky. Maybe you are trying to make a transition in your career. Maybe you are taking a risk to follow what you know you were put here on this planet for. Maybe there is a situation regarding your finances and you are trying to maybe manifest more. Whatever the situation is for each and every one of you, I see that you have been fighting. With the Seven of Wands, when you look at this man, he is like fighting. He is trying to overcome some kind of situation and using his control. And although we have brains and are to use them in a conscious and clear way, what I see is in the past, you had been fighting against yourself or against your reality in a way that was not helpful to you. I am hearing that you have been in a period of your life where you have been under a lot of pressure. And in my mind's eye right now, I am seeing a pressure cooker and someone actually trying to take it off and like getting burnt through that little hole that releases the steam. Like your pinky ends up like getting burnt really bad because you have been trying to control or get yourself out of a situation. And although your intentions have been very pure, maybe you're trying to help people and help yourself along the lines. Maybe you're going after a career where it does, like you are being of service to other people, but you have been going about it in a very forceful way. And what I have been hearing is that you are entering this period of great surrender where you have poured all of your efforts into your 3D world and not found any results. And so now you are starting to become hyper aware of your energy and your belief systems. You may have been doing a lot of shadow work recently, identifying these old programs that have been keeping you stuck in the same cycles. And you are opening your awareness to a new version of being. The first thing that Spirit wants me to say is congratulations. Congratulations on this awareness. And as I was hearing that download, I actually heard outside my door like this beeping. I am picking up the sense that you have been hyper aware of your shadow. And what I see is this is where so many people will get stuck is we know we live in a certain cycle and we can be aware of it, but we can try to fix the problem from that level of awareness. So we're fighting against our shadow. And I am seeing in my mind's eye right now a platypus. And this has been coming up a lot recently. And a platypus is actually almost like this misfit energy. And the spiritual significance behind a platypus is it kind of defies reality. So you are beginning to break open this new level of yourself where you no longer can allow yourself to be fit into a box. You may have noticed that your ego attached to maybe being a spiritual person, or maybe there were certain like identities of being like a good girl or something along those lines of just like these ways that, our ego will attach themselves. But what I'm seeing is that you are integrating all parts of you into one person. And this is going to be so viable as you move forward. I am seeing a great awareness around how many people are stuck in cookie cutter boxes. When you are a part of the spiritual community, so many people identify themselves with only being a good girl or high vibe or only being positive. And what I am seeing is you have been through this phase of your life recently where you may have been forced to revisit old parts of you that have created your entirety. Maybe you were a misfit when you were younger, or you liked certain types of music. And because you have been on this journey of understanding that, like, what you are, what you consume, you had rejected those parts of yourself. And what I'm seeing is, although it is important to be conscious about the things that we are consuming, you are also beginning to shed so much love or pour so much love onto every part of your life that has created the fullness of you, the entire expression of you. And this is actually what is going to be saving you from whatever situation you have been facing in this time. Because the world does not need more AI generated, fit in a certain box, cookie cutter style mentality. The world needs your authentic expression. And the more you begin to allow all layers of yourself to be seen by the rest of the world, this is exactly what is making you more magnetic. Spirit is telling me that you are going through this phase right now where you are becoming hyper aware of how you show up every day, especially when it comes into relationship, especially when it comes into play with your relationships. Before, when like in your younger self, you would always disassociate from your body's feelings and try to morph yourself into what other people needed you to be. And I am hearing that it was very difficult for you to be in touch with your body, your sensations, because you were so panicked or scared that people were not going to love you or accept you or validate you. And so you learn to read the room really well and try to give people exactly what they needed, because this is a pattern that you had learned maybe when you were younger or from your childhood. And you are breaking free of this, and you are beginning to have this beautiful relationship with your body, with your mind, which brings me to my Black Moon astrology cards that I had picked, which is the mind in Mercury and first house, the body. And this is all about you being really conscious of not only your body, the physical sensations, but also your mind and your voice, and saying exactly what it is that you believe. And if other people are triggered or not feeling the greatest by that, I see that you are creating these boundaries of, I don't care. I don't care what you think anymore. I don't care how other people perceive me. What I care most about is freeing my soul and my spirit, which brings me to my boundaries respected card that I had pulled from the Spill the Tea deck. What I am seeing is this is this has been a journey for you, and certain people are not used to this version of you. You are coming out like I'm seeing a mama bear in my mind's eye. You are laying down the law. You are saying what you need to say. You are allowing yourself to be messy and to be seen for the perfect qualities and the imperfect qualities, and allowing people to develop whatever thought process that they want without needing to manipulate it anymore. And that is a severe commitment to this future version of yourself. So Spirit wants to say they are so proud of you for having this awareness and to keep up that work, because this is exactly what is going to lead you to that end destination, whatever you are trying to manifest or move towards at this time. As you are going through this period of time where you are hyper aware of your actions, your perceptions, and the way that you show up, it is very easy for us to become consumed with tackling the shadow, because there is like some end outcome that we want to manifest. And one of the channels that I am receiving right now is learning to integrate that part of yourself rather than becoming panicked or worried. Spirit wants to remind you that all you need to do is observe this pattern that you have and to make the conscious choice to act in a different way. And to notice if there are certain parts of you that you are still rejecting. I am hearing that as you lead with your shadow and relate to other people through your shadow, allowing yourself to not fit in certain cookie cutter box type of ways, you are allowing people to be themselves. And that's not to say that you don't move towards this higher mind and try to break your patterns and your shadow, not break your shadow, but break free of these cycles. But there is so much wisdom in being able to lead with this shadow aspect of yourself, to vocalize that I too struggle, that I too am not perfect. And the world needs to see that authenticity. As you begin to lead with more vulnerability in that area of your life, maybe sharing the things that you don't really want to talk about, vocalizing the things that you want to maybe sweep under the rug, are actually the things that are going to hit or make you more magnetic in whatever you are trying to build. I am seeing that there has been a level of perfection that you have been trying to achieve in your day-to-day life. And I hear that you have been putting so many expectations on yourself to reach this level of perfection, and it's creating a lot of weight on your shoulders. And moving forward, what Spirit really wants you to begin to integrate is this acceptance, this level of acceptance for exactly where you are. And instead of trying to be perfect right here, right now, can you begin to strive towards perfection? What are the micro habits that you want to integrate or implement into your life in order to become that quote unquote perfect version of yourself? Because so often we get in our own way by saying, like, I'll lead for me, for example, if my video is not perfect, I don't want to post it. And so I am almost not allowing the world to see the real, raw, authentic version of myself. But when I overcome that perfectionism and allow myself to be messy and not perfect, what actually ends up happening is you guys see the rawness, you see the realness, and the universe is not asking you to be perfect. Otherwise, you already would be perfect. What the universe is asking you to do is to find these compound micro habits that are going to help you develop into the skill. A lot of times it's super easy, especially in this age of social media, to compare ourselves to where we want to go and all of these influencers and how perfect it looks like their life is. And what we forget is that they too started off somewhere. They started off at the very beginning. And the thing is they allowed themselves to be cringe. They posted the video anyways, even though it was terrible. And it was the micro habit of showing up every day that compounded into them becoming this most magnetic, beautiful version of themselves. And you too have that power within you to be able to become whatever you are trying to become. But if you are not continually knocking on the door, then you will never know exactly what you can become. And Spirit is not asking you to be that version today. Spirit is asking you to meet yourself exactly where you are and continue to knock on the door towards what it is that you're trying to create. As you implement this releasing of needing to be perfect today and rather practicing becoming better and showing up every day, I had pulled from my Citadel deck the Musician, which is about inspiration. And there is this level of creativity. You are beginning to break free from this clawing, this like, what did we have? We had the Seven of Wands, where it was like this fighting, this control in order to become something that you weren't quite ready to become. But you're breaking free from this mentality and instead stepping into this creation. And you're stepping into devotion in your life, which makes your calling that much more inspirational, where you wake up and you actually want to show up to the things that you are building and creating. Because instead of needing to be perfect right here, right now, putting all that pressure on yourself, you are beginning to just allow yourself to be seen and let it be messy and understand that everyone is messy, everyone is imperfect. And as I lead with this vulnerability of how maybe cringe I show up sometimes, it's okay. You are building. We also pulled from the Citadel deck the Witch, which is about experimentation and rebellion. So you are breaking the paradigm right now. You are breaking, first of all, these labels that you put on yourself of how you need to show up, and two, of how society expects you to show up. I keep coming back to this idea of you almost being rebellious, the platypus, of allowing the shadow to be seen. And as you do that, that is what is leading you to your manifestation. The ending of our reading, I had pulled the Four of Wands, which is about celebration, it's joy, it's harmony. You are manifesting what you want. If you look at the Four of Wands, it is this couple and they are holding their flowers up above their head. It is like behind them is this giant castle. It's celebration. Where you want to go is going to happen. But there's this level of trust in the universe as you let go, as you surrender, that you are going to be taken exactly where you need to go. What I am hearing is you have two choices. You can operate in this Seven of Wands, your clawing, your control. And it's very likely because of your mindset, you will end up getting there. But operating in this mode, you may experience physical illness, stress, a lot of like wear and tear on the body as you're like pushing forward because it's this very heavy or dense energy. But or your other option is to move into this more flow state, playing around, letting go of the perfectionism and allowing yourself to just show up authentically every day. And this is exactly what is going to bring you to your manifestation. Now, before we close this out, there were a couple cards in between the end destination. I had pulled the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands. Both of these cards are about preparation and progress. What I am seeing is you know you are meant for something greater. The divine put you in this position for a reason, but you are tripping up on how you are going to get there. Another card that I had pulled is mixed signals. It says the signals from someone are unclear and confusing. And I actually feel that this is you. I am seeing that you have been in this level of hoping. And when we are hoping, this is actually a waiting vibration. You are hoping that if you take this action, the universe is going to come in and save you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. But what I am seeing is there is this need for you to commit, even stronger than where you are. And I'm not saying committing so much to your actions in the physical world, because this is a collective that has the hustling down. You know you have the action down, but this is more of a commitment to your energy and your belief system. Because if you are continually saying, all right, I'm going to do the footwork and hopefully the universe will do what I am asking it for, you are saying, I believe in my energy a little bit and I believe in the universe a little bit. Spirit is asking you in this time for you to go all in, to commit to this version of yourself, saying, I am going to create this level of abundance, wealth, etc., no matter what. And it's also coming with this level of faith, of understanding that the divine is going to provide for me where I may lack, where I may not be able to keep up. Shifting your perspective, and I am getting full body chills, shifting your perspective from hoping to committing is this next layer for you. As you begin to integrate this into your life, of noticing where you may be saying, I may receive it, I may not, and instead saying, nope, this is the only option. It's like what you hear, that level of delusional, of being delulu, right? No, this is exactly what's going to happen. As you shift that, as you reprogram that in your mind, noticing maybe later in the day where you start to kind of have these doubts within yourself, try your best to understand that that is that little girl. She is trying to live in the same old pattern and commit. No, I am making this happen. No, the universe is helping me out. And as you do that, you are being led to that Four of Wands, your abundance, in so many different ways. Abundance is not just money. Abundance is having time, being able to spend time with your loved ones, having beneficial relationships that are symbiotic, that are equal, that are give and take. This is your health, your wellness. You are going to experience a whole different level of abundance as you continue to implement this. Because what was I saying in the beginning? You are shifting out of this major cycle that has held you down. And now you are having this breakthrough that is going to be greater than anything that you have ever experienced. As you may know, we tend to spend the majority of our lives on automatic patterns that we have learned from our childhoods and past events. In this present moment, right here, right now, you are sending out signals to the universe, manifesting, even though you may not be aware of it. If these patterns go without proper identification, healing, and reprogramming, we experience less than ideal situations in our life. Hence why certain problems you may be facing right now are not what you actually want to receive. These loops can be challenging to identify on our own, and even more challenging having to work through them. My readings are set with the intention to give you clarity around these loops so you can have tangible ways to reprogram your mind, resulting in the ability to manifest what you actually desire. If you're feeling inclined to receive deeper personal insight from your spirit team, be sure to check out the links in the description. I offer general love, manifestation, and career readings delivered to your email, or we can work one-on-one on Zoom. The women I consistently work with love that they receive tangible clarity about their situations and end up feeling more confident in their decisions and healing as they move forward. With that, I am going to leave this reading here. I am sending you so much love, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye.